rode her in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look out, buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod, baby.
So he didn't want to announce that, and and it dilutes your shares.
Yes, it
so
does.
It's not good. Yeah. So, but the other thing is he bought his solar company from himself using Tesla stock. So he didn't want that announced. It's just wrong. It's just So if you got your stock, say, at 220, and then the secondary came out, and now your stock's around 202, you're a little upset. And here he didn't, and it just looks fishy. And he gets the benefit of the doubt more than anybody I know. And the solar company he bought with the Tesla stock, they're combining them. All his relatives were on the board, and he was the main shareholder of that company.
Well, Dave, it
doesn't smell right.
That whole solar company was going down the chutes when he bought it.
Right, and it would have gone down more. Right, but it's kind of similar to Sears in a different way. That Mr. Lambert, that's the biggest shareholder of Sears, he's borrowing money from himself. He's lending his own money to Sears. It just doesn't pass the blue top test.
I'm going to tell you, I want to tell you flat out, Mr. Elon Musk is a huge political contributor to the fat cats in Washington on both sides of the aisle. He does not. He has bought and paid for his own politics. He's got all those guys in his pocket. He can do what he wants.
He's getting divorced now the second time from the same woman. And he doesn't.
That's pretty slick, ain't it, Dave?
He gets things done. But it's easier to get things done when you can call your buddies and it just doesn't. It doesn't smell right.
Dave,
just doesn't smell right.
Answer this for me. If you divorce your wife the first time and you lose half. When you do the second time, are you down to a quarter?
Well, the thing is, he's a billionaire, but I mean, what does he spend? And he likes that lifestyle. That's fine, but I don't want him in Trump's cabinet. Okay?
No. Oh my God, no. Thanks for calling, Dave. We're right up against the break, and you're spot on, my friend. I got to tell you, he's right there. We got rules. We got laws. We got big government. Let's talk to John on line 1-8. John, we're on with the car guy, buddy.
Hey, Big George. How you doing?
What's happening, my man?
Hey, I got a few topics to talk to you about real quickly here.
Sure.
Hey, first of all, I heard a report last week. I came in on the end of it. There was another Tesla wreck where it was in the self-driving mode. 2 people were in the vehicle, and the car flipped over.
Ouch.
I didn't hear the whole story on that. You might want to check into that and see what you can find out about that.
Absolutely.
And I heard last night I know you mostly do cars, but Harley Davidson, the NHTSA is investigating there with a sudden brake failure on some Harleys. And
that's not good.
Yeah, and there's a certain age range that they're going to recall, and but what Harley says they believe that the owners aren't following their recommendation of changing the brake fluid every 2 years. They think that's what the problem is.
Well, there's always an out. For all the car makers and the bike makers and all the manufacturers, they always have an out somewhere.
Yeah,
I got to tell you that I don't know if that changing of the brake fluid. Yeah, how long you've been around cars all your life, John? How often do you change your brake fluid?
Usually only like when you're doing a brake job, when you break into the system that way.
Exactly, when you have to bleed.
Yeah. But I know when I worked at Avanti, we used to, from the factory there, we would use pure silicone brake fluid. That's not supposed to absorb water,
Exactly. Water can't affect it.
Right.
And that's good stuff,
so
too. It's expensive, too.
I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Thanks,
and now I have a question for you. I was listening to the news over the 4th of July weekend here, and in Chicago, there was a case where a Chicago police car was parked, 2 police officers in it. A red car went by with some youths in it. Not youths, but youths. They're out having some fun. They wanted to share their Independence Day fun with the policemen, so they lit a firework and threw it at the police car. And it was the police said they thought it was an M series firework, like an M60 or an M80.
Oh, jeez.
The lit firework is thrown at their car. It landed on the hood of the police vehicle, but the hood right by the windshield. But then it rolled off onto the ground, and then it went off. And so I mean, they were lucky that it went off on the ground, not by the windshield.
Oh, absolutely.
And so anyhow, the police officers were taken to the hospital and make sure they're okay and everything. But the report also said that after that, after the firework had fallen on the ground and went off, a police car would not start. And so my question to you is, what do you think the concussion? Now, most start. Now, they didn't say if the firework went off on the left side of the car or the right side of the car, and a lot of the police, and they didn't say if it was a car or an SUV. Chicago has a lot of SUVs.
Yeah, they do.
That are higher up than the police cars. So, what do you think that on a new police vehicle, just a concussion from a firework could keep that vehicle from starting?
You know what, John? That's got to be almost impossible. I don't understand the correlation there, and I'm with you. I'm lost when it comes to that. I think I've got a couple ideas, but it's just so far fetched. What would happen if something like that happened while you were driving down the highway? A tire blew next to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A big loud noise. Yeah. There can't be a correlation there, but maybe there is. I'm going to look into that for sure now to see what they say.
Because I was thinking, well, if that gets out, the protesters and stuff, all they got to do is come from Chicago, come to Indiana, get a firework lighted by the police car, and put the police car out of commission.
Yeah, they can't chase you. Yeah.
I know they got hundreds of cars, but that one won't. If they can't start it, they're not going to chase you with that one.
Man, I have no clue what went on there, John. I got to tell you.
Yeah, that happened on Sunday the 3rd. And
I definitely am going to look into it, though. That's for sure, buddy.
All right. Hey, you going to get your scooter blessed today?
No. I didn't bring it. I'm going to go out the Blue Top au naturel. No scooter.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you. I'll be listening.
Thanks,
Take care.
John. Thanks for calling. When are you going to tell me? Hang on. Let's talk to Hank. I believe this is Hank from South Holland. What's up, buddy?
Good morning. I was just listening to your talk about the Volkswagen. That's a fantastic brilliant idea. If they could get rid of thousands and thousands, donate them. But it's a win-win situation. The reason is they donate it, and then the way the billionaires write our tax laws, they could take a tax deduction as a donation.
Absolutely. And
then they come out, dead even.
My God, Hank, they got 500,000 of these cars.
No, that's fantastic. Well, so your listeners got to make some contacts and some phone calls and get the ball rolling. So we'll get these cars into where the kids could start tearing them apart and really learn something.
Well, you and I, Hank, you and I are old gearheads, and I guarantee you that, and I said it, that the actual diesel engine is the simplest way to teach internal combustion there is.
And the problem is the schools now, there's very few schools that have vocational education. I can remember back in the day, I went to welding school, and the teacher had his own business, and he would teach us with the basic fundamentals with the gas welding, the acetylene welding, and this is the kind of stuff that America needs. There's jobs still out there, and
we don't have people for the trades, Hank. We're dying.
That's right.
I mean, everybody I talk to in the car business or in any kind of construction business, the trades, the unions, they're all dying for young people because they all think they're going to be computer operators and sit in a desk and stay.
I read the papers where I see more and more of these schools that shut down the welding programs. They're bringing them back because now they need the welders and they can't find them. Same thing with auto mechanics and the auto mechanics nowadays. You got to have a couple of years of electronics.
Oh, absolutely. You got to be able to work a laptop. There's so much more going on that it's unbelievable. But Hank, I really think
anyway, your idea is fantastic. So maybe your listeners can make a few phone calls, call with their congressmen or senators, and put a little pressure and say, don't take this stuff. So
absolutely. If we've got some teachers out there, listen, I know Leon from Lowell High School, he's the tech teacher out there. I know he listens. He should put in a call and say, hey, send us half a dozen of those Volkswagens down here in the region. We want to tear them apart.
Well, we're going to get the ball rolling. Okay?
Absolutely.
Great idea. Okay?
You're the man, Hank. Thanks for calling, buddy. Hank's exactly right. I like Hank. Of course, Hank's always pretty much on the ball.